Welcome to your Inbound Matters podcast, the ultimate podcast for professionals and inbound tourism players eager to stay ahead in the game. So my name is Yuzaidi Yudanis and I'll be your host for this exciting journey. So recently, I watched an inspiring interview between Captain Izham Ismail, CEO of Malaysian Airlines Groups, and Richard Quest, the renowned journalist from CNN. It was a powerful conversation that really got me thinking about Malaysia Airlines, visionary plans, and how they align with the future of our inbound tourism industry. So, in this podcast, you learn how Malaysia Airlines is reimagining itself not just as a career but as a global brand, redefining connectivity and premium travels. So we dive into their bold new strategies. Yes, I said bold, but in the best possible way, including how Kuala Lumpur is poised to become the next big gateway connecting Asia and Europe's, just like Dubai. So we also explore what this means for tourism operators like you. So from creating premium stopover experiences to using storytelling as a tool for selling Malaysia to the world, this episode, I guarantee you, is packed with actionable insights. So if you're ready to learn how to align your business, your inbound business with this game, changing strategy or make your mark in Malaysian's tourism story, let's get started. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss a moment of this episode. So guys, recently I watched an insightful interview between Captain Izham of Malaysian Airlines Groups and Richard Quest, a British journalist working as a news anchor for CNN International. And it got me thinking, Malaysian Airlines and how they're planning for their future. If you're into tourism, aviation, or just love a good comeback story, I think you're going to love these episodes. So Malaysia Airlines is doing something bold right now. They're not just flying planes, they're reimagining their entire identity. So I came across some fascinating updates recently and they even tie in perfectly with what tourism operators in Malaysia can do to ride this wave of transformations. So let's start with the big picture, yeah. Captain Izham Ismail, the CEO of Malaysian Airlines, has laid out a clear visions and he is steering the airlines towards becoming a premium carrier. Now you might ask, why premium? Why premium? Well, it's all about evolutions, not revolutions, evolutions. They're building on what already works. Strong branding, strategic locations in Southeast Asia, and deep cultural ties. But they also elevating their experience for a more discerning travelers. So, what does premium actually means? Yeah? Okay, here's what is get interesting. One key move is the airline's focus on the sixth freedom right traffic. Is it right? Sixth freedom right traffic. Yeah. If you haven't heard of this, let me explain you. It's when an airline connect passengers between two foreign countries with a stopover in its home country, that is Malaysia. For Malaysian Airlines, that means routes like Europe to Australia with a layover in Kuala Lumpur. Now, think about this strategically. So KL is perfectly located for those long haul flights, making it an ideal hub. But it's not just about connecting passengers, it's about getting them to experience Malaysia. So imagine travelers arriving for a layover and instead of just waiting at the airports, they're exploring the city, they're exploring the country, trying out our incredible food, trying out even venturing out to the city or downtown and then visit KLCC or the all the city's attractions. So that's is actually has a ripple effect on tourism. How? Okay, where is get even more exciting for tourism operators, the stopover packages could be the game changer. Think curated itineraries, city tours, or cultural experience, or cooking experience, or even eco adventure experience, all tailored for the premium travelers. And Malaysian Airlines bring them in, that's their job. And the tourism industry players rolls out the red carpet. But of course, the competition is fierce. I was told that Turkish Airlines, for example, is also increasing its flights to Australia, even using KL as a stopover. So, what makes Malaysia Airlines stand out? Okay, so the interesting thing is Captain Izam is doubling down on fleet modernization. Those Airbus A330 Neos, A330 Neos, is it correct? With luxurious hearing phone seats already rolling out. And I think it's entirely a different level of comfort. Spacious, stylish, and packed with amenities. And it's kind of a in-flight experience that makes you look forward to flying. So they're also expanding. The Malaysian Airlines also expanding their network within Asia, adding routes to hotspots like Maldives, even recently Chiang Mai in Thailand, Vietnam also and also plenty of destinations in India. So this ties into the trend of premium leisure travel, offering direct connections to dream destinations. So what does this all mean for Malaysians' tourisms? A lot. Operators need to level up to match the airline's premium branding. Think of luxury eco lodges in rainforest in Taman Negara, guided diving trips to pristine reef, or immersive cultural experience like cooking classes with renowned chefs. Or it's about crafting authentic, high quality, and sustainable experiences. So, for example, imagine a stopover travelers. They land in KL. Yeah, they land in KL after a long haul flights. Check into gorgeous hotels. We have so many gorgeous hotels in Kuala Lumpur, and have a ready-made itinerary, a city tour, a trip to the Malacca, or even maybe a cooking class. It's a little taste of everything Malaysia has to offer, designed to leave them, wanting more. So maybe they're coming back for longer periods instead of just stop over, right? So now I know what you're thinking. Does this shift towards premium means Malaysia will no longer be affordable? All right. Not at all. Malaysia has always been known for its diversity, offering options for every types of travelers. The goal isn't to replace budget choices, but to expand the range, making Malaysia attractive to both backpackers and luxury seekers alike. But with the great opportunity comes responsibility. As the industry grows, we need to ensure that local communities benefit. This is very important. The local communities must benefit. Natural resources are preserved, and sustainability remain a priority. It's all about finding the balance between the economic growth and responsible tourisms. So now, if you're in the tourism industry, you know that capturing the attention of travelers is very crucial. Recently, Dato Sri Mirza did mention that the old news, bad news is has more attentions compared to the good news. So we need to strategize how we can get the attentions of the travelers. How can we get the eyeballs of the travelers? How can we be in the news, the prime news of the destinations? So we all strive to provide a seamless experience. So from the moment they book the air tickets, hotels, and tours to the instant they step back into their home soil, this is very important. The whole journey. The question is, are we truly maximizing our potential at every touch point? From the tickets, from the hotels, to tours experience, right to the hospitality, and and go back and step back to their home. The whole journey. Are we truly maximizing and our potential at every touch point? So, in the interview, Captain Izham shared invaluable insight into the changing landscape of inbound tourism, and we can tailor our strategies to meet the evolving needs of today's travelers. So, what struck me was his emphasis on the storytelling. He said, it's not just about the destinations anymore, it's about the journey, the story that envelops the entire experience. So this is very interesting. So think about it. When was the last time you booked a trip just based solely on the cheap price or based solely on the pretty pictures? The truth is, today's travelers crave connections. They want to hear the whispering tales of a place, history, feel the vibrations of the cultural and the experience of the warmth of its people. But how do we do it? How do we, as a tourism professional, convey that? So today, I want to dive into this idea a bit deeper. I'll unpack how we can harness the power of storytelling to boost our inbound tourism strategically, creating compelling narratives and that not only attract visitors but turn them into lifelong advocates for our destinations. I mean, we need repeat buyers, we need repeat visitors, and we need these visitors to promote our destinations. So let's start with a story. Yeah. So a tale of two stories, if you will. CTA has beautiful landmarks, sunny beaches, world-class dining. CTB, when you want to compare it, on the other hand, offer the same, but CTB has woven thread of local legends into every visitor's journey. So you land and you're not just stepping onto the normal tours, you're stepping into the legend of Dragon Hills, example. The myth surrounding of the whispers of the night market. So guess what? Which one is better? CTA or CTB? I don't want to mention the name, but CTA or CTB. All right, CTA has a beautiful landmark, sunny beaches, beautiful and world-class dining. CTB is about the same, and he also has a beautiful landmarks, sunny beaches, and world-class. But on the other hand, in addition, it has stories. It has local legends, and this has made the visitors more engaged. Engaged, yeah. So CTB has repeat visitors. You know, more than the amount of CTA. So why? Because they didn't just sell a trip; they sold a story. It's very important. They sold a story, a living, breathing narrative that visitors shared and reshared and reshared and reshared, weaving their own experience into the fabric of that legend. This is an example. So the beauty of narrative marketing in tourism lies in its ability to transform informations into an experience. Ability to transform informations into an experience. So how can you get started? So in this podcast, I will share you, there are so many, but I will share you three quick tips, right? Okay, tip number one, know your audience. Dive into sight of your travelers. What do they love? What do they fear? So tailor a story that speaks directly to their desires and challenges. I'm going to just summarize on this, but later on in next podcast, I will go deep dive on these tips. Okay, tip number one is to know your audience. Tip number two is to use authenticity, originality as your compass. I mean, share the true stories. Jangan tipu-tipu. Don't share true stories of local heroes, local legends, like Masuri, unseen wonders, the authentic experience. People can spot all this if it's not original. So original build trust and genuine interest. That's tip number two. Tip number three, engage their senses. All right. Very important, the senses. The good story isn't just heard, it's felt. describe the sound, the sense, the sight, even those, even the even taste that a visitor can expect. So make it so what so vivid that they can almost taste the local cuisine while planning their trips. So that's the magical, tips of modern tourism storytelling. But we're just scratching the surface. So in future episode, inshallah, we'll dive into the deeper, featuring guests who's mastered the art of engaging storytelling in tourism. Okay, remember, the goal is not only attract tourists, but to transform them into ambassadors of your destinations. So the stories can be more infectious than any advertisement. That's for sure. Spreading through the network far beyond our reach. All right. So I think this is a surface of it, of the storytelling. I will deep dive on more on the next futures episodes of the podcast. But if you found today's insight valuable, don't forget to subscribe to your Inbound Matters podcast. It's in YouTube, it's in Apple Podcasts, or even in Spotify. Share this with your peer. It might just spark the idea that revolutionize how we can approach inbound tourisms. So if you have stories to share or topics you like us to cover, drop us a line. We're here to create a community of like-minded individuals eager to learn from each other and grow together. Thank you for tuning in today. Stay curious and keep storytelling. I'll see you in next episode.